Rip it, baby.
All right. Well, I think I have everything working. This is episode 222. We are back, Jason. It's been seems like a year.
It's been a long road. It's been a grueling path to get here, but we're here and we're back.
And there's so much to talk about. I mean, do we really have to cover it all?
No.
Can we just start from
well, do you start with do you start back
from this month?
You start from the current?
Yeah, like February maybe.
Yeah, that's doable. I mean, that's really technically what all the events started.
What really happened in the past 4 months that maybe you should mention? Like maybe something happened before Christmas. I don't know how.
Before Christmas?
Because seriously, I haven't paid attention because the PS5 came out in November, so I've been really busy with that. And you've been really busy doing a lot of things yourself. So heading out to races, doing a bunch of stuff, moving.
Yeah, I mean, I saw in December. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot really happened in December. You know, we went through silly season, which has been really that's a lot of the domination of the headlines, I guess you could say, as a lot has to do with the silly season and, you know, kind of finishing up the year and then getting into the new year. Typically we have the Reedy race in January, but we didn't have the Reedy race this year. They decided to put it on hiatus. They had the CRC event, as usual, in Ohio. And then we jumped into February, which had our Indoor National Series opener in Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha.
Yep. You're required to say that all the time. And then we got past that. We went to Nitro Challenge. After Nitro Challenge, 2 weeks later, we did the Desert Classic.
Jimmy Simmons with the holy shit, I haven't seen you all in a while.
And then after Desert Classic, we were over here in, we just did a Las Vegas 702 Raceway for our NCTS. So we've actually done a lot of racing already this year. That's without the Reedy race. So,
jeez.
You know,
we dominated everything, right?
You know, me and you always talk about, or we're in the chat, and then I'll be like, it'll be Thursday, and I'm leaving, and you're just like, where now? What? Where are you going now? But it's funny because traditionally we even travel more than this. So, yeah, but it's been a busy and a really good year for racing. The turnouts have been good. I would say the highlight for us was probably getting into February and Mayfield getting that sweep at the Nitro Challenge. He won all 3 classes. So it's nice to have our guys back, though. Look at this: Justin Doyle. We got Spencer. I mean, they don't go anywhere. They're still the fans.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're up to 14 fans. Usually it's 10, but gained a few. So. Yeah. Spencer mentioned Warzone. This is my favorite map, Rebirth Island.
Okay.
Spencer will know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't. I was wondering what that
was. Justin Doyle, yep. RJ's here, Jimmy Simmons.
We released some products along the way. Oh, Scott Foy, yeah. We released some products along the way. I know you were there was several times you were teasing putting the quick reference calipers behind us in the graphics window. I know you had that photo. You had that photo for a while. So we had many products that we've been releasing. Last week was a big week for releases, and it was a good finish to the end of last year, and then getting into this year, just some great events. There it is.
There's my calipers.
Yep.
Still haven't received them yet.
They're in the mail. So just doing the CRC race, a lot of guys went there. Spencer won a 2-wheel there, and Dakota won, I believe, 4-wheel and truck.
Oh,
all right.
We'll take that advice, RJ.
Rob, look at he's here. We can always count on Rob.
Sturgill.
Yep. And that was another benefit of being in Omaha is I got to see Rob.
Was that really a benefit? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was probably a benefit.
Probably.
No, he
love it.
He gets the jokes. He understands all our jokes. And
yeah, there's not many that can understand our sense of humor, or at least my sense of humor. And Sturgill gets it.
He does. He gets it. Man. He's the only one probably that you probably, I thought you caught the most amount of stuff on social media in terms of shares, and you can't get anything by you, in other words, on social media.
Oh yeah.
Rob is he's right on you. It's like 1A and 1B, like you guys are
so Rob does send me stuff in the chat, and I've already seen it like a week ago.
Ooh.
Just and I tell him about it. I'm like, Rob, let's pay attention here. That came out last week.
Yeah, we got to tell Kirby that all the time. It's like, come on.
Yeah, Kirby. I posted that last week, dude.
Keep up, Kirb.
Justin Doyle, great last couple videos. Spencer, love the dual cam action. Oh, all right, we won't ask about that.
Who had the dual cam?
Dual cam. All right.
Well, who had that?
Dual cam?
Yeah.
Spencer, I guess.
So maybe so Justin was commenting that he liked Spencer's. Is that what you're talking about?
Right there it is. There's his comment.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Good friend Will Britton.
Oh, Will. Yeah. Will was one of the last guys on the show with us during I think that October. I think he was on during
the Halloween. I wasn't at that show. Michael Myers covered for me.
That's true. I forgot. And Lone Wolf McQuaid. So yeah, Omaha was great. Got to see Rob. Good turnout. The only thing that was brutal was the weather. It was just insanely cold. It was the coldest I'd ever been in. -4 degrees. A lot of people asking, why are we here? Why are we racing? But I think 3 out of the 4 days it snowed in Omaha. So, but it didn't stop. It didn't stop the guys from coming in and racing. Pits were full every day. Everybody was ready to go. And so we were talking about CRC first. So yeah, Dakota won, I believe, 4-wheel and truck. Spencer won 2-wheel. I think Matty G was there running 17.5, 13.5. I think he had a great weekend. Then we got into Omaha. Dakota won both classes there. Mayfield was there with us, and I think Ryan got a second and third. Aiden Horn got second in the other one.
Yes, that was a lot of good pro tips there, RJ. All right, I'm sorry, RC. Go ahead. It's been so long, Jason. We're getting all these comments in here.
Yeah, you can keep us up to. All
right. Yeah, you don't have to pay attention much to these.
You don't have to.
So get me up to speed. All right, RC. Because literally I have not, other than some people messaging me saying, hey, what's going on with this or that, or whatever. I have not kept up with it. I don't think I've been bugging you much with it either.
Definitely not.
No.
You just usually go, is Mayfield there?
I just ask you, where's Mayfield at? Spencer.
Is he there?
What's the usual crew? Mayfield, Spencer, Dakota. I ask you where those guys are at.
Yeah.
No disrespect to anybody else, but I'm just saying.
You're just, hey, let me know how those guys do.
Yep, that's it. So Jason just shoots me a message. Mayfield's first. Mayfield TQ'd. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, go through CRC, go through Omaha, then Nitro Challenge, which was probably the biggest event we've done all of this since the COVID stuff. So I think they had 700 entries there in California for Nitro Challenge.
Okay.
So big event. Mayfield got the sweep. Second time he's done the sweep there. I want to say that others have won 2 classes, but nobody's ever won 3. I think he's the only one that's done that.
Get the broom out.
Yep. Super cold. We were running. Yeah, start off the year at CRC. They're just running silver ellipses as slicks. We go to Omaha. We're running gold ellipses as slicks. We go to Nitro Challenge. We're running for the most part. Everybody was running green reflexes, and then we scooted over to Desert Classic there, which we got to pit outside.
Scott Foy says Spencer's drive from the B to almost getting on the podium. What a drive.
It was. Yeah, he did a great job. He really should have. He really belonged in the main to kind of get it going, but he had only 3 qualifiers, and 2 of them weren't that great, so he had to be in the B. And he had a good drive, bumped up, and then he got almost the podium. He got 4th. Tanner Denny got him with a couple laps to go. They battled, so it was a good race. We go over to Desert Classic, which we pitted outside this year at Desert Classic, which it's an indoor race. So we did a full outdoor pit setup that they set up for us, and man, it was great. Everybody loved pitting outside. It was probably the highlight. As nice as the facility is, as nice as everything is there at Desert Classic, it was just still amazing. Amazing to do it, to pit outside. Just reminded everybody of the old Cactus Classic.
Yeah.
There he is, John Bolton.
Good friend of the show, John Bolton. Says Will Britton's his hero, by the way.
If you're gonna pick a hero,
Will Britton.
You might as well go with Will. Yeah, so Desert Classic. Spencer won 2-wheel drive there. Yeah, Scott was watching the race with us. It was ice cold at Nitro Challenge. Yeah, so then forward up to Desert Classic. Spencer won 2-wheel. Dakota won 4-wheel. And I think Dustin Evans won mod truck. That was the big 3 at Desert Classic. Probably one of the most enjoyable races to be at, especially pitting outside this year. But then the track is probably one of the most difficult ones you can run. Slick tires. Again, we ran mostly silver slicks. So 2 out of the 3 events this year, silver slicks, and then golds in Omaha. And then just over the weekend, we went to Vegas and ran our carpet race there at 702, which was a big battle. For the first time, we had Brock Champlin, who he's been on the show with us, talking to us. So the first time he's able to run the Schumacher cars. I know you and Kirby were excited about that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Getting that. You love those Schumachers.
That's right.
I'm just buying something here at the same time.
Scott Foy says, can't wait to go out to Arizona City, the BK Classic.
Yeah, I believe, what did we have it in October the year before? Something like that. I think it was something like that.
Joe Zaire Jr. checking in. Holy shit. Glad you're back. We're glad you're back, Joe.
Yeah, he was another guy that was at our race in Omaha, freezing with us over there.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Joe runs the Ran Out of Talent podcast.
Yeah, we talked about podcasting. We talked about his mixed martial arts stuff. So
yeah, supposedly he's really good at that. You could take him down though, Jason.
Man,
it's like that meme I sent you the other day in the chat. Oh, I would hit him with the guillotine and then
yeah,
then put him in a
that's a classic meme now.
Justin Jubert. He's surprised back.
Yeah, he was probably on one of our last episodes before the October one. He was doing he had the outside background going. He was talking to us a little bit about everything.
Great. You remember?
Actually, that was right after the Mugen Challenge when you came out to Mugen Challenge. I remember Jubert jumped on with us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. My memory shot. Now that you mentioned it, I was like, oh, that's right. I was at LCRC. Mitchell says, is this real? Haven't listened. Yeah, it's real.
This is real.
Many of you guys.
It's real. It's not a replay. You would have, Gotti, you would have loved, what's it? The parody's crazy now with the TO guys. I don't know what that means, but it must be like a football or video game or something.
I don't know. I'm missing that. Help me out, John.
So,
P. Phillips, sorry, Jason. We're gonna get a lot of these. We got a lot coming through. P. Phillips says, "The hell couldn't drop a warning message for me." This was actually.
This was the warning. This was the warning.
And we really weren't even sure if we were going to make it tonight. And literally, I get in the house, run upstairs at 6:30. Haven't been really sitting down here since October, and had to blow the dust off everything, and just kind of like
working.
Yeah, turn the laptop on. I don't think I have some things adjusted the lighting and stuff yet, but some of that was moved a little. But literally just flipped open the laptop, turned the Rodecaster on, and just prayed it worked. And here we are.
You would have loved the race at 7:02. We actually had some real, I wouldn't say drama, but we had the battle, the old school, like two guys wanting to beat each other bad. You'd have been loving that.
Oh, okay. A little bit of a...
Got a big rivalry going.
Oh.
It's a big rivalry race.
A little heated moment.
Yeah, it was a little heated.
I think this is Kirby on our Facebook page. Got bad news. Jubert wrecked his sled. Oh, no, Jubert. Hope everything's... Jubert says he broke everything. Okay. Every year, Jubert crashes his snowmobile for you listeners out there.
Really?
Yeah. Every time the snow drops and Jubert's all jacked up, ready to go outside and get on the snowmobile. And sure enough, you can, a day or so go by, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, well, wrecked my sled, guys. Sorry. I'm in the hospital now.
And for the people that aren't from up north, it is called a sled.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't say snowmobiling, right? You're just like, I got my
sled. I think the cool thing to say is sled, if there is a cool thing to say for snowmobiling.
Yes, you got a sled.
And I just said snowmobile. Corey Jordan, left tire salute. Corey Jordan in the house. And actually, while we were off, you have all these other podcasts out there doing their thing, and Corey Jordan is doing his own YouTube interviews. I saw it show up in my news feed, and Corey's been interviewing team managers and stuff from I want to say JC. What's that other JQ? I think that's who he runs. If I'm right, Corey, right? Cool. JQ cars. Justin Jubert, see, he doesn't deny wrecking his sled. Is that what you say? Is that the cool thing to say, Justin? Sled. All right.
I KO'd my sled. That would be something you could say.
KO'd my sled. Sean says, great to see you guys are back.
Yep.
We're back. We apologize for the break, but we're re-energized.
Gotta have a vacation.
I guess. I don't know. We don't like to do this to you guys, but
check the calipers behind Gotti.
Life happens. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
I designed them. Or wait, did I? Are you?
You and Kirby on the napkin.
RJ says sled or ski-doo.
Ski-doo. Ski-doo is like a brand, right? That's like Kleenex.
Right. I think. Oh, Duck says no more. No more JQ. How do you say that? Mako?
Miyagi.
What? How do you say that right there? That's not me. Miyagi.
Yeah, Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi.
Mm-hmm.
Miyako. What's no more? So Corey's running Miyako now? Is that
yeah, I'm a little bit lost on the whole thing, to be honest. I think there is going to be a transition from JQ Racing to this new company name, but I don't think I know something's kind of going down here where this is a new brand started.
Gotcha. Oh, and JQ is part of the new brand.
That's right.
Gotcha. All right.
So I wouldn't think that there's going to be two brands going forward. Like, I don't know why you would need, if the same guy is designing both cars, why you would need two cars. So I would think that it's all going to be kind of one.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens. We had.
Corey says he's running JQ. Okay. Oh, there you go. Like I said, you guys got to keep me up to date on all this stuff.
Well, you're getting there.
You're me up to date because I haven't.
We're getting you up to date right now.
All right.
We're having
Mitchell says, was thinking those calipers are not so good with the aging RC eyes. I
don't know. Depends. I'm 44. I can still see them.
Yeah, but you got bifocals on.
No.
I thought you said you were trifocals.
I don't have trifocals. They're just regular glasses.
It's okay to admit it, Jason.
I'm
sorry I blew everything here, but
trifocals.
Blew your cover. Could have swore you said last month you had to switch from the buys to the tries. Maybe it was someone else I was talking to. Yeah, all right. Duck says, so JQ is moving to be lead design engineer on Mayako. I don't even know. Mayako. Okay. Well, so JQ himself is the lead designer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's I think you actually watched it. Maybe we watched it together or we watched it, but there's a video explaining the new company. It doesn't really explain what happens to JQ, although he may have explained that later. I don't know, but
okay.
But there is a video that I watched about the new company and the philosophy and whatever the case.
I didn't realize it was a new company or something. I didn't watch the video, but JQ is the engineer of and Mayako, and JQ Racing is still going. Okay, cool. There you go. They're both operating.
I don't know why now you need two. Now you're gonna have two 8-scale cars out there, and
is it just 8-scale?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that was the impression I was getting.
Well, 8-scale is awesome. So
I couldn't be more confused, to be honest, with the whole thing.
I'm sorry. Well, I don't know much about it. Feel free to fill me in. Mitchell uses readers, so he's going to use readers to read the caliper.
There we go.
Okay.
Yep. Gotta get those readers.
I don't think it'd be that hard to read that well.
No.
Justin Doyle wants to know if I got my COVID shot. No, I did not. And I will not be getting a COVID shot because this guy right here cannot. I'm a wuss, I know. I cannot stand needles.
Uh-oh.
Cannot stand them, dude. I literally.
But you'll do anything getting your teeth cleaned. Like you're
I love
the biggest pro of teeth cleaning.
Oh, dude, I'm always at the dentist. I love going to the dentist.
I think in the grand scheme of things, most people would probably try to avoid the dentist.
Mm-mm.
But you're just like, you can't wait for that next appointment.
Yep. Indeed. I even like the whole process of when I got my braces. Like, didn't bother me one bit. P. Phillips says I'm glasses shaming. Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just being straight up. Jason don't want to admit it here, but he said he got trifocals. Anyway.
Trifocals.
Right. The Mayako car is designed by JQ. There you go. All right. Mayako. Okay, here's somebody finally got it for a checkered past. Mayako. Got it. All right.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason,
at the name, so I apologize.
For whatever reason, a lot of the JQ stuff definitely makes a lot of newsworthy, content. People talk about it. They like to discuss these different things, but in the end, it's still about the product and does it sell. And I think definitely JQ will design a good car. I think he's got a ton of experience with the 8-scale cars, and you kind of know what you want. And he's writing books and doing videos. And
oh wow! So is the car? So is the car out? Like, is it coming out real soon?
I don't know.
Maybe it'll debut at the Nats at LCRC.
Yeah, it could. I don't know. I don't know anything about it other than they showed a couple things in the video, some parts, and
okay. So they teased stuff and then didn't really give you a launch date yet or anything.
Yeah, as far as I know, I didn't see that.
All right, I'll have to check it out. Well, this is a great point by P. Phillips. And we'll get to the RC here, Jason. P. Phillips says, only need the COVID shot if you leave the house or go around other people. God, he's that's correct.
He's. I mean, it's an excellent point.
Yeah, I did have a scare though. Remember, Jason? I had to. I text you. I was like, I'm on COVID watch.
Yep.
Because I was around somebody that ended up having it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, in the fetal position in my room, crying.
You're in that shower. What was that shower scene from that movie that they always talk about, the crying game, where the guy's like crying in the shower?
Yeah, I don't know. What I was gonna say, but it's funny how when you get exposed to somebody, you find out you're exposed to it, and then your head, you start playing trick. Yeah. Oh man, I think I got a fever, and then you're like, no, I can't taste this. I don't think I can taste it. I can't taste this. It's like drive yourself nuts.
You're like, that's it. I'm going down. That's it.
I know. I was texting you guys. I'm like, this is it. I'm done.
Yeah,
I think something's wrong. Jason Santos.
Here he is.
What's up, boys?
How we doing? Good to see you.
Jason at the Mugen Challenge. Was it the Mugen Challenge?
Yep.
Yeah. He was on the show. I don't know what episode that was, but Jason was on the show.
We talked a lot of RC10 stuff. It was good.
He messaged me not too long ago and said he found a Trinity chassis for the Ultima for me.
Oh.
The graphite chassis.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yeah, he wanted to know if I, was interested in it. I'm like, man, What am I going to do? Like, I can't do anything with it. You know what I mean? I need the whole car. So if you can build a whole car for me for under $100, I'll take it.
No.
All right.
For under $100.
Drew Spurgeon. Hey, welcome back. Not sold in stores. Oh, you
Maybe
mean the JQ car?
My Aco.
My Aco. Man, we got a lot of comments in here I got to go through, but Mitchell says associated following X-ray and the one model per year. One model per year. Is that true, Jason? What's associated?
They're definitely getting closer.
Are they?
I don't know if the B6.2 and the B6.3. I'm not sure if they were a year apart, but yeah, the generations are closing in. Yeah, I don't really know what to say other than that's essentially what the business of racing has come down to is new. Really, what it is is instead of making more B6.2s, and this is what X-Rays has done. What you do is you incorporate updates you've done along for the last year or year and a half, and you put them in the box with it, and you have a revision on it. You know, when it comes to X-Ray, they call it a different year model, and the other companies are adding a revision number. I don't know if it's. I don't know that it's the greatest system, but at the moment, that's what the business has come to is sort of this touring car-esque system of updates.
Justin Doyle says all the brands will follow X-Ray soon.
The part that I don't think you can do is I think it's very difficult to update all your cars every single year. You have to have really kind of a pretty big staff to be working on that, and you have to have the capability, the manufacturing capability to be able to release these things a month or two apart. So I could see that being an issue. But if you really look at these vehicles, you have to really determine if you need what the updates are, or if you can buy the updates individually and just add them to your own car. I think the theory is that with these new vehicles is maybe you need a new kit, a refresh or a new kit anyway, and you might as well get the latest. So I think that's really what the basis of these kit revisions are, is that they feel, or people feel, that they need a new kit for the new season or new parts, so you might as well buy a kit. So that's what's happening. This year, I mean, the racing itself has been super popular, and I don't know if it's the most popular we've seen, but it's definitely doing really well. So this system hasn't proven to hurt everything as far as racing goes at this point, but we'll see. Personally, I wish it wasn't like that, but
yeah. Well, that's also like everything's like that today, though. Like every year, a new phone comes out, and everybody has to have the newest thing.
Well, and it's the part that we'll talk about what Duckhead is saying here after, but part of what's happening is they're just, like you said, they're just, that's the whole world right now, is they know the way to keep having people buy stuff is by having another model or an update, and it's not just RC cars. So I think it's a little unfair to judge RC cars differently than you do all your other products. But That's just the way it is these days. And what I have heard, Duckhead is mentioning here that they could do a B2 to B, do a conversion kit from one to the other. The issue is anytime any of these companies have ever had conversion kits, they don't sell. I know that for a fact. That anytime you offer a conversion kit, it doesn't sell in comparison to selling the kit. So it just doesn't make any sense for them to do it that way if it's the sales just aren't there like it is. And I mean, everybody has to also understand that these are also businesses and they're trying, the whole objective is to supply a product and try to make some money. So that's the only way it keeps going.
Yeah. Duck also mentions, let's not forget X-Ray already has the tooling and manufacturing in-house. No one else has that capability.
Yeah, for the most part. The part that's kind of strange, though, is the X-ray stuff is still the most expensive, or well, one of the more expensive ones, especially their parts. So, sure they are making it in their facility, which we were at their facility in 2019. We talked about that. It's amazing. Their place is amazing. You have no idea how they have it. It's just so. It's the nicest place in the whole town we were at. But yeah, their stuff still remains kind of on the expensive side. So
Checkered Past says X-Ray has the backing of the government and they have hands in other things. It's not a dedicated RC only company like AE, etc.
Well, that is the rumor, but everybody thinks they know, but when you're there, there's nothing else other than RC stuff. So, that is the rumor, is that they do have a lot of ability and a lot of backing from the government. But when you're there, you don't see anything other than RC parts, equipment. So if they're making something else, it's hidden somewhere else, or it's underneath the ground or something, because when you're in there, everything there is RC. What I have heard, and of course, these are all just rumors, which, maybe the whole rumor thing is how all this starts. But, the rumor I've heard is that there is a with the government, is that they have this agreement that if they do need to make anything for the government, they are one of the first people they would come to make it for the government. But they just aren't having them do anything. So that's why but of course, this is just all rumors. And when you're there, it just looks like all RC. Two of the biggest buildings there are built for RC racing. So I mean, the track we ran the Worlds at is huge. It's a brand new building. The bathrooms are as nice as any 5-star hotel. Maybe 4-star, I don't know, but it's nice. And yeah, there's a lot of rumors and things, but when I was there, all I saw was RC stuff, and they're pretty proud of it, that they have. Of course, you would be proud to have, the capability that they have, and they definitely don't brag about it, about anything else other than RC. So
yeah, I love their website, their presentations, their advertisements that they do online.
Well, and I like it too. The only problem I have had over the years is that they will take something that has already been in the market and sort of try to take it like they're the only ones that have done it before. And I think that's to me, that's the part that always gets most people. I'm sure if you're an X-ray fan, then you love everything that they do. But if you're not somebody that's already following it from that standpoint, you look at these things, and I mean, they recently released a body for 8 scale, and I had everybody messaging me like, saying, why did they make you guys this body? And
Why they what?
they made a body exactly like our 8 scale body.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
everyone's contacting us about it, or contacting me, and I'm just like, yeah, I guess it's just, I guess they liked it. But
Oh,
in
okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay.
in the description of everything
Right.
of the body, they're trying to explain how they came to this end result of making this body. And it's kind of like saying that, you know, after all this testing and variations and all this type of stuff, that they came to the end of that line, but it just looks just like our body.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's just strange. It's just
body. They all look the same.
well, in this situation,
Has JC logo on it.
well, you could have jumped,
Yeah.
everybody's copied stuff in the business.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I get it, but you could say, you could just say, hey, we got a new body in the car or in the kit. You wouldn't have to go down and try to explain that you made it look like you invented it. But
I like it.
there's
I like
a lot
what
of
they're
people
doing.
Yeah.
A little bit of Trinity in them from the old days, huh?
Nah, not at all. This is
Okay.
different. We can talk about the Trinity thing too if you want. We were talking
Why?
about
What happened there?
No, we were talking about that one night in the chat where essentially all the stuff that Trinity would do in the 90s, how you loved it, and I
Oh, it's
didn't.
so
I did,
awesome.
and I didn't like it. Like, to me, we were on exact opposites.
Yeah, I love the pop shots at other companies. I mean that made it fun too. I mean, but back then it was just a different time.
Mhm.
The races really to me meant something. You go to races, I mean they mean something now, but I mean like the companies and the manufacturers, it seemed like they actually maybe they didn't hate each other, but it just seemed like they did. Like they did
Well,
a war
definitely
going on.
Trinity and Associated hated each other, I'm
Right.
sure.
So you had that war going on, and it just made it fun, man. And today, and I could be wrong on this because I'm not out there, but when I do go to a race or whatever, on a rare occasion, I don't know. It just seems like everybody's just having a good time, and everybody gets along with each other, which is fine. I'm not saying don't have a good time, but it just seems like the manufacturers and everybody it's just they're there and they're all like, hey, what's up? And it's all lovey dovey and
It
it's
is certainly different now from that standpoint. I mean, we used to joke that we would have like a tent emptying brawl at some of the old races in the 90s.
right.
Because at like Winter Champs, there was, Associated had a big tent, Losi had a big tent. And we would always joke that there would be like at some point there would be, because the Winter Champs was everything. Like there was one bleachers was Associated, or like a full bleachers. You sat on one side was Associated people. You sat on the other side was the low seat bleachers. And so the joke was at some point something was going to happen and there was going to be a tent emptying brawl.
Yeah, right.
was the joke. I mean, that never happened, but
you didn't
there
see
was a
like
lot of passion.
yeah, a
And
lot.
not that we had a little bit of that over the weekend. I was trying to tell you about our race at 702, with just people wanting to beat each other, and there was some tension. I guess that's the right word. There was actually tension, and actually it had a buzz to it, and it kind of reminded me of those days.
Yeah, I would have loved
And
that.
I try to tell people about it, like, hey, this isn't really that big of a deal. Like, this is kind of how we used to do it. It was like, but yeah, so it was good. That was a good part of just the tension of guys wanting to beat each other is fine. I mean, obviously there's a line you can't cross, but wanting to beat somebody, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Duck mentions there were definitely more characters back then. Uncle Ernie and Pops Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, and these guys were the owners. I think that was the difference. Is when you're dealing with everybody, we're almost in second or third generation type situations now, where like in the associated side of things, Gene Husting and Roger Curtis really aren't involved and associated. They're people, maybe a son or somebody directly that they hired, maybe still around. Obviously, Team Losi sold to Horizon many years back, and so there's just the ownerships aren't the same, I guess, is the simple way to say it. Ernie's still Trinity, but he's got more. He's got different people kind of doing the groundwork now, whereas he would be at those events back in the old days and mixing it up.
Definitely. Brian says, Sorab took me out in a qualifier, and I thought about throwing him off the driver's stand at the Winter Champs.
I told you there was no joke, man. The Winter Champs was the real deal, and Brian knows he was there. And there was one side was the Associated bleachers, the other side was the Losi bleachers. And if your guy had a good qualifier, one side of the bleachers would cheer and the other side would boo. Like, it was just a big deal, man. You would have loved it. It was the race. Like, it really was. The people that experienced it know from that standpoint. The people that did not kind of missed out. But it was just such a big deal. And people had so much passion. And and you didn't even have to be on a team to have that kind of passion back then. It was just like, if you ran one or the other, you selected, what side you were going to be on, and that's who you cheered on. And it was just, it meant a lot to everybody.
Yep. Justin Jubert says nobody wants to be the heel with social media now in play.
Right. And there would be a big, it would be interesting to see if somebody wanted to play the heel, how that would go over, if you could. And I guess you could kind of say, in a sense, that, and I don't know if this is true, but in a sense, JQ has been a heel in a way. He'll take, for the sake of having the argument, he'll take the argument on. He'll do anything. So I'd say if anybody has been a little bit, maybe he has, but the question is, are you doing it for real, or are you doing it, you know what I mean? Like in wrestling, you'd be a heel, but that's like scripted, right? You're a scripted heel, and you could turn back to a baby face at any time. But, if you're doing it in the real world, are you really actually acting to be a heel, or is that just you? So, sure, it'd be a lot more fun is like if it wasn't you and you were just acting, then it would be really fun.
Yeah, I like to be the heel.
Yeah, I mean, they say
embrace the hate. That's what I always say.
Well, these, in that wrestling world, they say a lot of the guys, they rather prefer to play the heel. They just say it's more natural. It's natural.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Jubert, you will love this. I showed Justin Jubert my shirt.
You got a sled?
Look at the shirt, Jubert.
7
Brady. All the Super Bowls and Roman numerals there. Look at that. All right. Duck says he's an unbiased heel, though. He just cases on everyone. Unbiased heel. Okay. Jake says, "What's up? You're finally back." Yes, we're back. we're back.
I see Jake out there still racing his TC3 and his VTA class. He's definitely getting a lot of mileage out of that platform, which is pretty amazing to see.
I don't know. I always see him out there at these fancy dinners and stuff, and I'm over here. I'm on my phone looking at his posts, and he's in Florida. He's going to all these fancy places, and
Nice
I'm over here
weather.
I'm like with my nickels at the same time, trying to count them up to go to Sheets and get a sub.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, look at Jake. He's eating good tonight.
Yeah, he is.
Fancy plate of food there. Looks like stuff I could never afford. Anyway, he's living like Rona.
You know what? I was thinking of you when we were at 702.
Right.
Over the weekend, and I went over twice to the truck stop. We got our food from the truck stop next door at 702.
Right.
So the old Petro gas station that they also have a
how'd that hit?
they have a restaurant connected to it called is it the Iron Skillet? I think that's
okay. Yeah, the Iron Skillet.
The Iron Skillet. And I remember going there with my dad back in the 80s. We'd go to drive to Michigan, and we'd stop there. And I thought it was great when I was a kid. I was like, oh man, do we get to go to the Iron Skillet? And then I saw it driving into the track. I'm like, oh, we got to go to the Iron Skillet, and everyone's looking at me like, what? But we went. We got lunch from there twice.
So they had one there. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were still around. Cool.
I know. Somebody will know. Pete, who's going to know? There it is, Iron Skillet. Watch what Pete Phillips recognizes. He'll know the Iron Skillet. That's a trucker. That's a truck stop.
Right. Oh, RJ says
it wasn't I think they have a buffet, but I just ordered after the menu.
I used to go to a buffet.
Chicken strips, man.
Oh yeah. Iron Skillet. Duck says Iron Skillet is great hangover food.
That's probably correct. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Pete Phillips. Even truck drivers.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh man.
Well,
really? I thought that was a truck driver thing, the Iron Skillet.
Well, you go there, they got the diesel fuel, we can pull up. Good truck stop. I wonder what the good truck stops are now. The one that we see, what's the one that's badass now? It's got like the logo's got like the little mouse, or it's got like a little rat, or I forget what it is.
Chuck E. Cheese?
It kind of looks like that. It's got like a little.
Come on, Pete, help us out.
Pete'll know.
Yeah.
I forget.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I can't believe he avoids the Iron Skillet.
Yeah, I didn't know trucker. I thought that was a trucker thing. I thought they loved that.
Yeah, see the Iron Skillet.
Yeah, and when I went to Iron Skillet, I was like, yeah, I felt like a truck driver. Like, I was a kid. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, sit at the bar.
Yeah, right.
Got those little pivoting chairs up there.
Absolutely. RJ says, when I was on the road for MSD Ignition, the Iron Skillet was pretty decent. This was ages ago. Oh, there you go. Got one thumbs up for Iron Skillet there. One thumbs down by Pete.
Yeah, I went there once. I got 2 chicken finger things. Got one for Lee, one for me, and then I got to get Hannah found her.
Pete Phillips says Iron Skillet is for drivers that are too tired to pour their own coffee in the store. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you sit down at the little counter and let them pour it for you.
Yeah. Wow, I'm shocked by this. The Iron Skillet's not a favorite amongst truckers. Okay.
He's got to tell us what that other one is.
Yeah, Pete, what's the other? What is
the new hot one?
The new hot truck stops to go to, or the Iron Skillet type thing? Mitchell says Selena 52 is worth a read.
I wonder what's that.
I don't know. I might have missed something up here. Alex Sturgeon checking in here. He says Hobbyplex Show in the house. That's right. Check out Hobbyplex Show. I'm a subscriber on YouTube. I check out his shows. Does the Hobbyplex Live, I think he calls it. In the house of watching Godfather of RC Podcast. Well, thank you. Godfather of RC Podcasting.
Hey, you know what?
Hey.
You like the Godfather movie? I mean, you got to be the godfather of something.
All right. I'm just going to take that compliment and run with it.
It is a compliment.
It is. Thank you. Oh, Alex checks in and says, Pilot.
That's another one.
Pilot Travel Centers.
Yeah.
Isn't that, don't they have the Iron Skillet?
I'll keep searching while you're looking.
Here we go. P. Phillips says I wanted to say monster trucks. Most truck stops are getting smaller. Love's is the fastest growing one. Okay, I've heard of Love's. All right. Let's turn
Love's is a big one we see.
Most Love's have fast food. Flying J has Denny's. Oh, all right. Okay. So Denny's is still the place to go, especially after drinking, I guess, right?
Yeah, who was that RJ saying that was the place to go after hangovers? So is Love the one that has the little logo that
with the mouse or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I think Love just uses a heart.
Yeah. Yeah, just a heart.
Huh. It's funny. Meth and lot lizards. Okay.
Oh, man.
Did you see any lot lizards out there?
No.
All right. Oh, this might be it, Jason. Check that out.
That's it.
Bucky's?
Yep, that's the one.
Bucky's truck stop.
We knew he would know.
Right.
There it is. It's like a squirrel. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like a little squirrel with a hat with the bill flipped up.
So Pete, the Bucky's is the place to go?
Yep.
They're awesome.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm asking Pete.
Oh, sorry. Oh, so my opinion doesn't count.
Oh, you're not a trucker, so we're on the road a lot though. Oh yeah, okay. It's like a beaver there. Bucky Beaver.
Yeah.
Nice beaver. Thanks. I just had it stuffed. All right. On to more truck stop talk on the Radio Impound podcast. If you'd like some RC talk, head over to let me name off a few podcasts. No Name RC Podcast. That's Key and White.
Hey,
head over to Ran Out of Talent. Head over to Alex Sturgeon's podcast. There's a ton of them out there.
Hey, no, I mean, this is important stuff because when you're driving, you're driving to these events, you got to know the places to stop.
Good point. And apparently Iron Skillet's not one of them anymore.
Yeah,
according to an expert truck driver right there.
Yeah, you want to stay away, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we got lucky.
Mitchell says quick trip is always worth a stop in Wisconsin. There you go. So we're getting some good tips here for everybody.
Yeah.
Just traveling. Well, where's our next big race, Jason? When's the next one that you're flying out to? What's that one?
Let me just go
find out what state that is, and then we'll have Pete or somebody here give us the best truck stop food.
Psycho Nitro Blast is the next our next travel event.
All right, where's that at?
Then we just have a huge run of events. It's
in Georgia, right?
It's actually Tennessee.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah. Quick trip in Wisconsin. So
Pete says finally a subject he has knowledge about. Right. See, thank God you're here tonight, Pete.
We should ask Pete what kind of truck is in Knight Rider. Remember the Knight Rider episode where there was Kit and then there was Goliath?
Right, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, the Goliath had they put the the metal like
Mhm.
It was like a metal protective thing on the front end of the truck, but it was like a flat face truck. Uh, but Garth drove that one, which he was the evil twin of Michael
Yeah.
Knight.
Yeah. I used to use him as my profile pic.
No, I think you should go back to Garth. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Pete, call into the show. Talk about truck stops.
Trucks.
Trucks. Oh yeah, because he's into the square body trucks like you are and stuff like that. So, right?
Well, you could talk about trucker trucks.
Yeah. Pete Phillips.
Big rigs.
Goliath was a modified Freightliner cab over.
Is that what he said?
Yep.
There we go.
RJ says there was a badass truck stop in Douglas, Wyoming. Killer bacon cheeseburgers.
Okay. Yeah, they put a big kind of a mesh of a graded mesh on the front of this truck, and that was supposed to be that's what took down Knight Rider. It was funny how as you're a kid, they could just paint the thing gray, put a bumper on it,
and it was evil.
And it was evil. Like, and obviously they add in, you add in the noises, and you got Michael Knight, you have Garth in there driving and just looking more evil. And pretty soon he's beating up on your car.
KD says it was to also take out lot listeners. All right.
And that could have been sort of a side benefit.
Oh man.
And I think, wasn't it they stole Kit's molecular bonded shell, I believe is what happened. That was the reason why the Goliath was so damaging, is because it was a semi, and then they stole Kit's molecular bonded shell.
Right. KD's a big fan of the show. He actually has a Radio Impound t-shirt that one of our old school shirts. Now we have new design ones. You could head over to carpys.com, carpys.com, and he has a little Radio Impound link there, and you can click on there and purchase any Radio Impound gear.
Do they have any like Knight Rider Goliath stuff, or
sure, I'm sure he does.
Truck stop memorabilia?
Right. He does.
That's what we're all about right now.
Corey Jordan says it was a FedEx ground truck.
It's a FedEx ground.
And Corey was driving.
He's like, here's your stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Corey, what do you think of Amazon? Just get an opinion of another delivery driver, but I heard Amazon is putting AI-controlled cameras in all their trucks to monitor the driver and make sure he's doing everything properly. Let's get your thoughts on that. Buddy of mine drives for Amazon. He told me all about it. You had to sign a waiver for it, or otherwise they fire you. How would you like that, Corey? Or you, Pete? A camera inside the truck constantly. It could detect when you yawn if you're too tired. It could detect when you pick up your phone and look at it.
Nothing like being tracked.
Right. Terrible. RJ says A-Team van. It was an A-Team van. A-Team van.
I never watched A-Team.
Wait, what?
No, I never watched A-Team.
Never watched an episode of A-Team.
I never watched an episode.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you check it out, man? It's awesome.
I don't know. There was something. I don't know. Maybe I didn't like the van, or I was like I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to Derek at Jeff at Carpy's. RJ says, and you know what? Derek's got to come on the show. Actually, I will go get it if you go on one of your RC rants. But Derek sent me an awesome pit board, a Radio Impound podcast pit board that I can give away. So it's pretty cool. I think I have it downstairs, actually. I'll run down there and get it here soon. But yeah, big shout out to Derek and Jeff. And I know I got to get Derek on the show, but I want to get him on the show the same time Kirby's here because they could talk oval racing and all that stuff. So I guess Derek will never be on the show that because when's the next time Kirby's going to be? He did say next weekend, though, Kirby wanted to be on the show.
Next weekend.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we record on weekends, but maybe if Jason, maybe we'll figure it out.
I'm here all weekend, supposedly.
Oh, Corey says we have them already he has cameras inside his truck already. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. That's okay. I don't know how I would like that. I promise you guys, we'll get to RC talk, but this is what's cool. Just rambling on here with the fans.
We were talking about RC earlier. We
got a question.
We went straight through all the events that's happened already. We listed all the winners.
I mean,
well, actually,
by the time a podcast goes, you already know who won. You don't need us coming on here. I mean,
but it's a breakdown. We're giving you the after show, the breakdown.
Yeah, it's cool. You can talk to Jason about it or ask him questions of what happened and stuff.
Super Bowl like breakdown.
Right. Where am I here? RJ cannot believe you have not seen A-Team yet.
I didn't watch Hardcastle and McCormick either. I never watched that.
Wow.
I am
blown away by this.
I watched Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, Fall Guy. Those were my favorite three, I think. What else was there?
Well, you saw, okay, so Fall Guy, Simon you watched.
Simon and Simon I didn't watch either.
Oh, okay.
Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, Fall Guy. Those are my favorites.
Rockford Files, you ever watch that back then?
Nope. I mean, I watched the intros to a lot of those. They had the truck, and was that Simon and Simon that had the Dodge truck?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know.
Had the red or the orange Dodge with the stripes, the big bumper on the front. That's the Pete Phillips talks about that one. That's his favorite truck. That model Dodge. I watched $6 Million Man. I like that too.
Yeah.
Do.
Duck says, speaking of pit boards, any chance you want to do another run of the carbon fiber aluminum boards you did a while ago?
We have them going. They're in the works right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's happening. It is happening.
Hey, talk about that. I'll be right back. I'll go get that pit board quick.
So yeah, with the pit board, I don't know how long ago that was when we released the original ones. That had to be 5 or 6 years ago when we did the original carbon aluminum pit boards, and people loved them. They're expensive. That's why we've never really made them again. But I'd say of all the things we get asked for, that's definitely one of them. So this year, actually end of last year, we decided we were going to do another run of them. So yeah, that's happening. They're really cool pieces. I know Mayfield's been using his a lot, his original one a lot lately. Paul uses his all the time. I want to say I saw Matt Gonzalez had his out at the race over the weekend in Vegas. Several guys have them that they're still using. Mine, I don't remember what happened to mine. I used to have a really nice one. Then I let Spencer borrow it for a race, and he put 2 or 4 glue rings. He put 4 glue rings all over my carbon pit board. So that was that. And I don't know where it is. I don't know if I gave it to somebody or what ended up happening to it. I must have gave it to somebody.
Just gave it away?
Yeah, I must have gave it away.
Huh.
I don't know who has mine.
I gotta find it.
It's got 4 glue rings on it from Spencer, though. I know that. So
Oh man.
Even Mayfield has made it longer with his carbon pit board than Spencer did. That's big. I thought Ryan would mess his up way before Spencer, but how's our comments going?
Can you view the comments there? I think I just made it so you can see them.
Oh, awesome. Totally blind.
Because I want to find this pit board. I think I put it upstairs, but Kean White, No Name RC Podcast. Rip was the first podcast I ever listened to. Oh, my apologies. Man, listening back to some of those.
Well, to be honest, I mean, it had to be the first one a lot of people listened to. So.
Yeah, I think there was only, like I said, there was only 2, I want to say. 1 that was solely dedicated to RC, and then he had Horizons that did they covered everything that they sold and stuff like that. And I was talking to somebody about this recently. I don't want to say it is a little bit easier to get into it now, and I think that's why you're seeing, I mean, especially with this, you got Zoom and StreamYard. They just make it so easy to get into, and it's really cool how you can interact with the fans easy now, compared to, back in the day. But where was I going with this, Jason? Help me.
I'm reading the comments. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting distracted. I see them coming in, and I forget where I was going with it. There's a lot of podcasts out there now, which is cool. And I think when we first started, it was very difficult. I think it's a lot easier for people today to get people to listen and watch the show. Like I said, back in 2012, guys in RC just really didn't have an idea what a podcast was. They would ask you, well, what radio station is it on? And I think that podcast I'm talking about, I think it was called RC Chat, maybe.
Gary Katzer did it, right?
I don't know the names, but
I think it was Gary Katzer, maybe.
I think they were in a radio station out somewhere in Vegas, I think.
Oh, those guys. No. Gary Katzer did the Horizon one.
Right. And then
and
some
then
guys
in Vegas. Yeah, I know the guys in Vegas too.
Oh, okay. So they did it out of a radio station. So when I started it with the Radio Impound, people were like, well, what radio station are you on? Like, how do I tune in? And I'm like, well, it's a radio show, like on the internet, like you download it. And they're like, well, how do you do that? And all this other stuff. So it was very hard to get through to people how to listen to the show. Or today it's just, everybody knows what a podcast is and how to. Yeah, I really don't know where I was going with that. All distracted. I'm trying to figure out where my pit board's at. I believe it's upstairs. So yeah, cool. Kean White, No Name RC Podcast. Now that dude, I think he's like every week. I mean, that's how we were back then. Back in the day, I was hammering him out every single week, very consistent. What you need to do, and I realize that. And but what are you gonna do? We're still here.
Yeah, one of the comments.
Will you ever give David Church call in podcasts? Yeah, that was funny when Dave came on. Man, that's been a long time now too.
That was a good one. When we we were talked about how he got kicked out of the Worlds in Argentina.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was a mess. That whole Worlds was a total mess, to be honest. And that was just part of it.
Yeah. John Blakely says he's watching live from Otterville.
Is that Otterville, Nebraska? I don't know. Well, I saw the question up here from Checkered Past. Can Jason give insight when he was driving, what was the timeline say from the B3 working for the
Can you
B4?
put it up on the screen there?
Oh, can I do that?
Just
I don't know
click
if
on it.
I don't think I can do that.
Oh, it doesn't let you do it?
No.
It's kind of weird.
Well, the B2 to B3 was a pretty quick turnaround for them at the time, because the B2 was new in 95, and then the B3,
Go Bucks. Going for 8.
the B3 was new in 97. So that was a 2-year turnaround in 1995 to 1997. Had different A-arms, different caster blocks, hub carriers. So it was really kind of a pretty big change they made from 2 to 3 in 2 years. Then the B3 stayed from 97 all the way till about 03. So that car had about they had to have it around for about 6 years, and the car was really not very suited to the tracks we started running on at that point. So if you were an associated guy during that period of time, you went through about 5 or 6 years where you really needed some updates to get the car better. But it wasn't out there. They just did a factory team version and small revisions here and there. Still won the Worlds in 99, that car, but needed some changes. And then they got more firepower in their design department, along, to add to Cliff with Torrance and Kurt Winger, and those guys kind of joined the team out there, and they kind of got Brent Telke joined as the team manager, and they really kind of got rocking and go again. And then they released the B4, whatever that was, 2002 or 2003, when they released the B4. And then the B4 was a 10-year-old platform. They went from whatever that was, say 0203, they went all the way to 2013. And then that's when they started running the C4, which was the conversion for the B4 to make it mid-motor. And then the B5 came out, and the B5 didn't last very long. B5 was a quick, kind of a couple year thing, but that was in the transition from rear motor to mid-motor to lay down. They went really fast. And then they got in the B6, and now we're in the sort of the revisions, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So, yeah, I think it's, that B2, B3 turnaround was quick, but from RC10 to B2 was 10 years. They went 2 years, B2 to B3, and then B4 to B5 was 10 years. And then they did a 2-year turnaround between those two, roughly, and then onto the B6 now, which we've had for several years in, small incremental changes. So I think if you really look at the original B6 and then you look at the B6 that they released now, they're still really good laydown cars, and you could probably run the original B6 would be fine, but so that's it. That's about that. We got Pete Phillips giving the shout out on the vehicles, the Simon & Simon Power Wagon, the Fall Guy GMC. Yep. We got Duck reminding us of Starsky and Hutch. Didn't watch that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that either. I mean, I saw bits and pieces, but
yes, Pete mentions to visit Rusty's TV car museum in Jackson, Tennessee. I do need to do that. So and RJ mentioned I redeemed myself by watching the $6 Million Man. That's good. Scott Foy asking the retail on the pit board, which I think is in the $260 range.
Now, I have the pit board here. Thing is, it's in green, so I think my green screen's really going to cut it off. You could get an idea what it looks like there. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. Got the little Carpies logo on the corner. So I'm going to give this away to somebody eventually. When Derek's on the show, though. I want to give it away when Derek's on. So
So going through here, Corey explained the cameras in the vehicle, the FedEx truck, are really more for safety, which is good.
Yeah, where's that? Where are you at here? Oh, okay, here we are. Yeah.
We got Duck admitting that we just saw the live stream. That's good. StreamYard.
Well, he says, I have to admit, I didn't know you guys did a live stream with your podcast. I've only listened to you guys via Apple Podcasts. This is great. Yeah, we just started doing StreamYard, just a couple episodes now. So
we got Tanya saying that her BF went to Western Nats, which was cool. They liked watching the two-wheel mod.
Yeah, I didn't realize this. Right below me here, I have a. This is from 2019.
Yeah, that's exactly
Carpet Nationals first place 4-wheel drive modified. So who was that?
That was Mayfield.
Oh, it's autographed up here.
Oh, okay. Yep. Catch that.
I didn't catch the autograph.
So Corey is asking, what was the scary movie with the 18-wheeler back in the day, which I think is the movie called Duel, where the semi is chasing the guy in the car. I believe that movie is called Duel. Oh, and we got John saying Maximum Overdrive. I was thinking of Duel. That could be it.
It's probably Maximum Overdrive.
But Duel is a semi chasing a guy in a car. That's kind of a scary movie. Same episode that Jason just casually mentions. So I was in this bar in Argentina. John says Canada, eh? Otterville is in Canada. So then we got David Adams. What do you think of the speed of change in the no prep cars and equipment? Also, what advancements can you see in the tires? No prep has definitely come on strong. We've been doing it for about 4.5 years now, the drag racing. And what's funny is we just had that huge race in Vegas. That's another thing we could have talked about. They had the big RC drag race where the guy won, I believe it was $19,500, or was it $18,500? One or the other. He either won $18,500 or $19,500.
He won that much money?
Yeah. So
wow.
So it was the big King of the Streets event in Vegas. I believe the entry fee, you could sign up, was $100, and you got 200 plus racers. You have a $24,000 payout. 10% goes to the people running the event, and the rest went to the winner. So interestingly enough, the one car that made the finals was a B6 converted to a no prep drag car, which is, I don't remember how far back we did our B6. I'll look it up here. But Street Eliminator build. Let me see when we did this. Just bear with me here for a second. But anyway, one of our vehicles. So we first built a Slash. That was our first picture car, I guess you could say. We did a Slash converted to a Street Eliminator. Then we did a B6 converted to a Street Eliminator, which we sell the components, some conversion components for that today. And so one of the guys in the finals, I believe, had a converted B6 to a drag car. And then the other guy was running a DR10 with a couple hop-ups on it, 3D printed something in the back, shock tower extender or something. And so that was the finals of the race. The biggest race we've had so far in drag racing was a converted B6 and then a DR10 plastic chassis car. So a lot of people were using that as the kind of the comical, hey, everybody's making these carbon fiber drag racing cars, but here's the guy with the DR10 in the finals.
Wow.
With the plastic chassis. So, and from what I understand, the track wasn't extremely high grip. A lot of the guys that are really good at this right now run a little more traction and they got their speeds down. But this whole game is about how you do that day, not what you test and tune for in the long haul. So, they have a location. It's how you can do that day and get your car working that day. That's important. And those two guys got to the finals, and Clay was the winner. He had the pink car. Clay Keats, I think, was the winner, and he did. I mean, I've never raced one single race for 18,000 or $19,000. So he did a hell of a job, and I don't know if they gave him a small check or the big check. I don't remember, but
got to get the big one.
it would be nice to have the big check
and throw it back in your car like
yeah,
Gilmore.
Yeah.
I mean, the car of all his checks, big checks in his car.
Yeah. There is a lot of different directions. I think what people sometimes what gets people as attention online in this RC drag racing is the people that are building cars that are sort of unlimited with all the carbon fiber, everything. They got, unlimited power. They got all kinds of special batteries and power boost capacitors. And I know Mayfield was sending me pictures of his stuff. The other day. He was building up a couple cars while he's waiting for a new baby to come on board. But so he's working on some drag cars in his 8 scale at the moment. So a lot of those really cool looking carbon cars make a lot of noise on the internet, but I believe there's still a lot out there that it doesn't have to look exactly like that to have success at one of these events, because you don't know what the surface is going to be like. So it could so happen that you have a good car that day and you go to the finals like this guy did. And so you really have to watch this at the moment, because I think people get hung up on the just buying everything that's the most expensive, because they think that's the way to victory lane is people just say, oh, I got to have this carbon thing, I got to have this fancy body mount, I got to have this fancy wheelie bar, I got to have all this. And they just keep pouring money into these drag cars until it's a $2,000 drag car,
and then a DR10 beats you.
And then you get beat by a DR10. So,
oh my God, I would hang it up right there.
Which is happening, which happens. So ultimately, it still is coming down to how your car is working that day on the surface you're running on. How much work do you have to do to get up to speed on that particular surface? And maybe you just set your stuff out that day and you're just magic. And maybe that was a couple of these guys that their stuff was really good and it benefited them. Now, if you go to somebody's location where they're just dialed in pass after pass after pass, and they're set up, they're on kill, sure, it might be kind of hard to beat that guy there, but he knows that surface and he's been taking hits on that area for a long time, and he's dialed into it. But you go to maybe some equal ground or some track or condition you don't know, you can't rule out anybody. And so I know everybody in this has been in RC drag racing, and this is where kind of you go down to Keenan's question about monster truck stuff. That's where these two things are a little in parallel, because like I will say about the monster truck racing, and it's the same with this drag racing, you can get beat by anybody at any time because the races are quick, and the driving side I don't think is near as technical as it is. We just put up 6 videos from our Carpet Nationals at 702 on YouTube, and go watch those videos. Yeah, of course, the plastic is more favorable, but but it shows that platform is competitive. But yeah, you go watch our video on YouTube of those 6 main events from Vegas. The driving talent these guys had negotiating that carpet track's amazing. I drove after the race, so I have I drove a couple cars after the race, including Spencer's, and then a Davey Bata who won 17.5, and then you switch over to the drag racing stuff where in the monster truck where it's so fast, the races go by in 2 seconds or 6 seconds. You can just get beat by anybody.
Kean says the plastic chassis allows for more flex, generate more grip on a low traction.
Yeah, of course, everybody after the fact knows all this, right? So after the fact, everybody comes in and says, "Oh yeah, of course that has more traction." Yeah, but when people geared up to run the race, they all bought the most expensive thing. They didn't look at the track and say, "Oh, hey, I'm going to tune to the track." Most people show up with the most expensive thing because they think that's going to be the best. So I think, sure, a plastic chassis, more flex, whatever, but um, I mean, even the plastic chassis stuff's pretty rigid. Uh, we used to run it in off road, the very same chassis setup. So, yeah, I mean, sure, after the fact, everybody's a genius and knows, oh, well, that guy was running good.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kean, I
but
think he's calling you out, man.
but no, I mean that's how it works. It works at all this,
Right.
in all the forms of racing. It is easy
Okay.
to say after the fact, whether it's off road or on road or whatever. Oh, well, of course that car works good on that track. Well, yeah, now that the race is over.
Well, what car finished second? Like who was right behind him there?
Well, no, the guy that won was
Right.
running the B6 converted to a drag car, which is like the car that we built essentially. It has an SC6 chassis, I believe, and
Gotcha.
that type of thing.
All right.
B6 arms. Then you go to the DR, and then the guy that got second was running the DR10 with the 3D printed bracket on the rear shock tower, I believe.
Oh, so there was guys there with just totally tricked out dragsters. Didn't even get to the finals.
Yeah. And
Wow.
Obviously Tim Smith, one of the guys that has been in drag racing longer than anybody, he has probably one of the trickiest looking drag cars you can get. He posts maybe 3 or 4 photos a day of it on Facebook, and it is a beautiful car.
Wow.
But those cars get beat too.
Yeah.
And
Wow. So
going
Tim
in,
was there?
yeah, Tim was there,
Oh,
and he said he made a kind of an error in his test and tune the day before. He turned down his power a little too much, and he just kind of got outrun. I forget if he was in the second round, maybe he got beat in the
okay.
second round or something. I can't remember. It was one of the two.
Right.
And but I mean, he was pretty honest about his experience, which just goes back to saying you can get beat by anybody at any time, and so
Yeah.
it will eventually it will trickle to where everybody's running at the race event a more dedicated, a more expensive car. Not that I don't necessarily agree. I wish it wasn't like that, but that's just how it works. But there is a huge market for these cars, and price is a factor in general when the sales of these cars. So you can't sell a $1,500 drag car right now. Yeah, I mean, so Pete's got his comment there, but the DR10 is selling really well, and that's helping the business. It's helping the industry because that car is doing so well. Now, if the DR10 was $1,500, it would not be helping the RC business
Yeah.
like the DR10 is at the moment. So racers race, racers spend a lot of money, build the $1,500 trick car. But that's not necessarily good for the business or good for the industry. But and people get caught up. They see there's a new. Somebody mentioned it before. There's a new chassis out all the time. You see, but I think you still gotta realize these events do go to the guys that have their stuff working that day on that track, and if it could be one day you show up and it could be the super trick car like Tim Smith, or you show up another guy, the DR10. It's just,
Oh, wow.
Mayfield has 3 cars right now. He's built 3 drag cars. He's got a DR10. Um, he's got the one based off of Mark Vine's chassis, and he's got more of a traditional B6 SC6 chassis one. So he's got 3 drag cars, and he says the DR10 is by far the funnest one to drive. He's like, I go outside. He's like, it'll basically just wheelie a little bit and go straight down the track every time. And he's like, the DR10's based one is by far his favorite to drive. Uh, and he said it's the most consistent. But if he's going to try to beat one of these guys doing 2 seconds or 2.1s or 1.9s or whatever they're running, he's going to have the high end. He's going to have to have the type of equipment they have. So yeah, Keenan, like you said, Mayfield's gotten deep. He just loves RC cars. He's got all of them. We made that speed run car together. He's got the TRX4 rock crawler scale truck, all of his race cars. Now he's got 3 drag cars. His dad has a drag car. So Keenan was saying for Jason, is monster truck racing going to be as big? No, I don't think the monster truck racing will be as big as no prep, because I think there's a little better attraction to the no prep cars looking like a real car. And it's easier to do it. Maybe that's even the largest thing, is you can run your no prep car out in front of your house if you want. Whereas monster truck, sure, you can run it out front of your house, but you still kind of have to construct a little bit of a track. So I think in monster trucks, you still got to build a little bit of a track. And with the snow prep, you could really just go. I know Mayfield does passes out in front of his house. He just takes the car out and goes and does hits out in front of his house. He's like, oh, I don't like that. I like this. So.
RJ says, oh, sorry. Where are you at?
I'm reading what you got up.
RJ says in the Mid-Atlantic, they're getting 2 distinct classes up, the stock DR10 type and the stock Traxxas type, then the full-blown Outlaw class.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think what we have right now is, previously the DR10 was the only car available. I still think it's the only car you can get. The Losi has a 22S coming, and then Traxxas just made their big announcement a week or so ago that they're going to have a vehicle. So I'm really surprised it's taken Traxxas this long. The first car that we built was Traxxas based with banded arms, based off of JD Crow's recommendation. So, one of the things I like to, if I'm going to brag about anything, it's that we were one of the first into RC drag racing street eliminators. And so, when people will ask me, do you got anything for drag racing? I'm like, yeah, we did 4.5 years ago. It's like, we've already been messing with this.
Where were you then?
But anyway,
I remember at Trinity, there used to be a guy there that brought in his drag car from time to time to buy parts and stuff. And yeah, it was tricked out to the max. I forget the dude's name, but we promoted him a few times in our advertisements back then, late 90s, when we were starting to get drag racing going.
Was he running the rare earth magnets?
Yes, of course. And I know exactly where they came from.
Oh, okay.
What part of the earth? Do you know?
No.
I do. I was actually at the mine. All right.
Do tell.
Okay, commenting from YouTube, by the way. You can go over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Impound.
We have Mitchell asking real quick.
Wait, hold on now.
Before we get to Duck.
Question up on the screen there already for you. Does Traxxas have a patent on drag racing, Jason?
I don't think they have a patent on actually drag racing.
Okay.
I hope not, because we'd all be in trouble. They would have. A lot of people would owe Draxus a lot. The first 2 cars, they said the first race that ever happened in the world was the first time 2 cars rolled up next to each other.
Oh,
So that was the first time there was ever a race. At the beginning of time was the first time 2 cars rolled up next to each other. So yeah, if they got a patent on drag racing, they were way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game.
All right.
I mean, we were in it for 4.5 years, but Traxxas has been in it for hundreds of years based on that. So hundreds?
Mike says, Jason, glad to see you're back.
Mike Bellotti. I like that photo of Mike holding that fish. He's got him when he was a kid holding the fish, and then him holding the fish.
Oh,
now.
yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
That's pretty wild.
So Mitchell was saying he has
Reminds
the original B6.
Meme. Remember I saying that meme with when they catch fish? I think it was Scott Hall in it. Anyway, where's this Mitchell question at? So I can put it up.
I have the original B6. That latest wide rear end make that much of a difference? That's the part I'm seeing. I like how it's Mike Bellotti 2. Or the second.
Yeah, Mike Bellotti the second. I like the name. Sound Bellotti. Hey Bellotti, I need you to do me a favor.
I need to do you a solid. We got some guys over here.
I need you to travel down to Florida and take somebody out.
He is in Florida.
Oh. All right.
He doesn't have to travel.
How far does he have to travel to JC? Because I needed to do me a favor.
It's actually not that far.
All right. Hey, Bellotti, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah, he's just asking about the original B6 versus the 0.3 rear end. I'm not really the best person on that because I haven't driven the B6.3. I would think that it's still a smaller incremental change, but judging by the performance of watching Spencer's 2-wheel and others at the carpet race we were just at, I thought the car looked great. What's ironic is I thought that Brock should have won 4-wheel and Spencer should have won 2-wheel, but it worked out the opposite at the race we were at. Brock's now running the Schumacher cars and doing a great job with the speed of those, and he TQ'd both, but I thought Spencer really could have won 2-wheel, and then Brock I thought would have won 4-wheel, but it actually reversed. So I don't think you have to have the new rear end, but I think it would probably be one of your first updates. Alex Sturgeon.
RJ says, will we see any belted J concept tires back in stock soon?
Yeah, I know we've been getting them back in and shipping them out. They come in and out so fast, and the belted tires do take longer to make. So that's why they're all a little more rare in the market. Nice. So Alex said he was watching some behind the scenes of Maximum Overdrive. Apparently there was a lot of drugs on the set.
Making that movie, I would imagine.
RJ 18.5. So he said it was 18,500. We had ESCs back in 89 that did the same thing that ESCs are doing now. We eventually dumped them for max power micro switches with 10 cells and so forth. Different ball game, however, will be. Yeah, I don't know the exact situation. Essentially, what Mayfield was telling me is the guys are running, a special battery, special 2 battery setup, and then a bunch of power capacitors hooked to it that almost look the size of a battery pack. I don't have a picture of the car, but I think that's kind of what RJ is referring to, is that they were doing some of this stuff back in the day. And he also said he's only ever raced a real drag car for 18,000. But man, even if you're racing a real car for that much, that's a big deal.
Man, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, RJ, like the real thing. If you're going to spend money, spend it on tires and working on your shocks. Alex has a DRT. I tell you what, Alex has a ton of RC cars. This guy has I think he actually has more than anybody
Oh, he
because they
does
have
own
a
a
they
hobby
have a
shop.
they have an on-road track, they have the off-road track, they do some
Right.
crawling, scaling. He's got it all. If you got an RC question, which is being a manager of this hobby town, you would have to be a little knowledgeable in the RC game.
It would help.
Yeah, so David Adams said that the car that won had a very flexible chassis, which is, I think, actually true. He had the Mark Vine, the slim chassis that has a ton front to back. Oh man, where's the big? Oh yeah. I can't wait to get to John Bolton. From what I saw, the King of the Streets walk about was scale trail type of vibe, lots of products on display, lots of interaction. I was a little scared of what the vibe was going to be at that
Oh,
event with the
what's
money
this
on
now?
the line. It's the King of the Streets. KOTS is the drag race we were talking about, where the
Okay.
guy won the 18,000.
Oh, okay.
But I think I was a little worried with that kind of money on the line that it would lose some. That would lose a little bit in terms of people being nice or having that right vibe. But from everybody that has told me, they really loved the event. They didn't have any problems, any issues. Everybody was really complimentary to each other, helping each other, which
Damn,
with that kind of money on the line,
that's unusual.
yeah, it really says a lot, I guess, about the RC guys. So, and that's making this. There's another one that people are signing up for now in Oklahoma called the Super Chip event, and that thing has got tons of entries. I want to say there's like 405 people signed up or something.
What's this one called?
It's called the Super Chip
Super
RC.
Chip?
Yeah, I think it's just called Super Chip
Right.
something.
All right. Wow.
Then John Bolton drag racing will turn into the 17.5 of the RC world. Guys are believing in buying wins. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that.
People just like to show up with the coolest looking shit.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it.
Right.
And if you don't mind spending money for that idea, I think that's okay. The part the one of the classes I'm concerned about is they drug in the 13.5 cars now, 13.5 motors into drag racing, which I think is going to be a nightmare. I like the idea of the rules. They've had some great rules with it has to look with the body and I think you have to have a more realistic body, and you have to there's some limits on the wheelie bar or no wheelie bar. I like all that. The motor part is what's really going to be, this limitation is really going to make it tough. Yeah, Alex mentioned here. Oh, look at Alex Surgeon. I'm making a regulator Brat Fro Boy monster truck because yeah, Alex is like I said, he's got it all. And then he says these Traxxas is late to the drag racing party, which they are, but them being late to the party usually isn't all that bad. They still seem to make their. They still seem to get their.
There's guys on YouTube that popped up in my newsfeed, somewhere down south, I think like Georgia, Atlanta area, that they drag race like in parking lots. They show up at night somewhere and it caught my eye. I was watching them run, and some of the cars, when they go right off the line, like when they take off, they just spin right out instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like the coolest looking car, like you'll be like, they'll show the two cars and you're like, oh, that one over there is definitely going to win because it looks really awesome. and it just spins out, and this little kid that's just running whatever just goes right down and wins. So it's like, oh, all right.
What Keenan's saying here, do we think
Or-
that off-road drivers can catch on and be more successful in no prep? At this point, I haven't noticed really any advantage to any driver. I mean, you think about it at the moment, you think about like a Tim Smith who probably has just as much, if not more, than experience in drag racing than anybody, and he's having sort of like mediocre to average success. And then you have a guy like Mayfield who's a world champion in off-road, and he drives it, and he just kind of has like, so far, the racing he's done, just okay success. He won one race in drag racing, but he's gotten beat just as much as he's gotten beat more than he's won. So at the moment, it doesn't really seem like it favors anybody. It favors who's got the car figured out. That's who it favors.
right.
So which I think is what is exciting for people, because they may not have the skills to wheel an 8-scale buggy or a 10-scale car, but maybe they just don't mind putting in endless amounts of work and passes to be great in drag racing, and that's what's going to pay off.
Did we had Tim Smith on a show years ago when he was trying
way
to
before this.
Yeah, I mean, probably when we first started, 2013, maybe somewhere around there. And he was trying to break the 200 mile per hour. Did he ever do that?
No.
Like, did anybody break the 200?
There's only one guy that's broken 200, I believe, and that was the his name is
it that Nick guy?
That's exactly who did it. Nick Case.
Nick Case.
Case. He got 200 miles an hour.
He did.
Yeah, and this was a while
ago. I know it was like whoever got there first between Tim and Nick, I think, at that time.
They were having a battle, yeah. And I don't know. There's some. I'm sure it depends who you talk to. By supposedly there was some. I don't know if Nick had some extra help with his car. There's some kind of rumor that I don't know that it wasn't as. I don't know what the right word is.
So how long ago did he do this?
It was several years back.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those two are the top drag racers, and they were going for it. So I remember Tim was on, trying to get that 200 first. So never checked in on that to see if they did. So
well, Almond McLean basically he wrapped it up here for us. Drag strip equals fast car, racetrack equals fast driver. So, which is, very true. Very, very true.
Bellotti says, dude, the no prep is dialed.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, farewell.
What Keenan is talking about speed runs, and yeah, there's a big difference between drag racing and speed runs. If you're just going for 200 miles an hour, like, you can use sort of an unlimited amount of distance, right? So there's no real distance that you have to maintain. Whereas drag racing, you have a limited amount of space that you got to do it in. And to be honest, you got to stay within your borders, and there's a distinct finish line, and there's some games, side by side.
Bellotti. I got to do this.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh, where are you going?
You keep talking. I'll be right back.
All right. Where's
I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow.
Say nothing. He's going to the bathroom. All right. Bellotti, we'll have to wait for that answer. All right. Got a lot of questions from you guys asking where we were at while we were gone and what we were doing. Like I said, Jason was traveling. I was doing a lot of family things and stuff like that. And, the PlayStation 5. Playing that. I don't know what to talk about. Can't talk about RC much. But there's the PlayStation 5 digital edition. which was a gift for my daughter. And there's the other PlayStation 5 disc version. That's right. Be jealous. That was for David, my buddy David. I know he's watching. He's going to hate me for doing that, but I just had to. All right. What else we got here? You guys can call on the show if you'd like to. Talk to Jason. Gotti, is the PS5 readily available? No, that thing is scarce, dude. I mean, I could have sold these for $1,000 each, probably even more. There's a semiconductor shortage worldwide, from what I'm reading, and it affects a lot of things, not just consoles. So Xbox and Microsoft's having a hard time, just putting these systems out there to everybody. So, but they're expecting by spring, maybe they can start pushing more out. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I guess Biden's the new president, right, Jason?
As far as I remember.
Yeah. So I guess he was saying that they were going to launch an investigation into the semiconductor shortage. So, Jason, I was talking about the PlayStation 5 because I was flexing on people with my 2 PlayStation 5s.
You got 2?
Yeah. Well, the other one's my daughter's. That was a Christmas present. But yeah, I was able to secure 2. I was able to secure 2, one on Amazon, and the other one was an actual invite from Sony because I spend a lot.
Every other one.
I spend a lot in their store throughout the year, so they sent out invites to their customers that support them, and so I got the digital version through Sony, which was pretty cool. It came with a nice little card from Sony, and it said, thank you for the business and all this other stuff. And but yeah, that's pretty cool. I was able to get that one and the other one from Amazon. But yeah, we were talking about because Kian asks, are they available yet? And you still can't find them anywhere on store shelves.
Really?
And yeah, well, there's a semiconductor shortage that doesn't just affect consoles; it affects anything that takes these conductors.
Mm-hmm.
Conductors, capacitor, whatever the hell they are. You know what they are?
Semiconductor.
Conductors or something. And
it's a flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor, that's it. Shortage of flux capacitors. And supposedly the government's supposed to be investigating this because it's holding up a lot of other things besides my consoles. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's supposedly by spring they're supposed to be hopefully rolling and pumping more out. So I got. Yep, Allman says I am correct.
About everything. That's fine.
About everything. That's right. I was correct about VR also. Allman, I know Sony is doing a new VR. They're doing a VR. Jason,
here we go.
Wrap this up.
Oh no.
Anyway, I Allman bought a VR headset a few years ago, and I said, you wasted your money. And I was right about it. You wasted your money, right, Allman? A minute. All right. Nah, he enjoys it. So.
Video game consoles are harder to get than an inbox. Worlds.
Allman says, yeah, video game consoles are harder to get than the inbox RC10 Worlds car. Okay. Here you go, Jason. Kevin says, most of the raw materials are much harder to find. Jason, does it affect any of your products?
A little bit, but I mean, I think we've been pretty fortunate. We're still, I think more than anything, it's just at the moment, the sales have been good in RC. So a lot more RC stuff has been affected by just larger sales, to be honest. I think that's been the biggest thing.
Kean says hopefully by June so he can get one. I can't. I can't.
That's the soonest he thinks he can get a PS5. Is that what it is?
Man, here's the problem. When they do become available, bots,
Are gonna buy 'em all.
BOTS, bots buy them up. So if you're a reseller, let's say you're a reseller, you have a computer program that just instantly, when they become available on Amazon, they just pull like 100 of them or more. I mean, these guys are buying. There was a photo of a guy with 2,000 PS5s and Microsoft Xboxes, and it's like, it's just crazy. And now here, you know what companies creating a program to combat bots? I think I sent you the link to it, but it's Nike.
Okay.
Nike is coming up with a program to combat all of this because apparently it happens in the sneaker industry, especially with the Jordans.
Oh.
When a new Jordan comes out, you know, these guys, they have these bots that just buy them up instantly from these retailers. And then they get on eBay and sell them for outrageous price.
So it's a
So
popular Jordan shoe.
Keegan, I don't remember. Do
Jordan shoe be saving the
do we have a little bit of a lag issue here? We might.
Video game world.
Keegan, I don't know if I have your gamer tag. Are you on my PS5 friends list? I have no idea because I forget. Like these guys add me, and then I forget. Like, you know, like I'm like the other day, I was like, who the hell is this? And then I realized it was Spencer. And then I was looking through my friends list. I didn't realize I had Ryan Cavalieri on my friends list. I was like, damn, I didn't even know he had this. I forgot all about that. It was PS4 days. Might have even been a PS3 days, actually.
This is cracking me up.
So I don't even know if he even plays PlayStation anymore, but I know Spencer does. He's always on Warzone.
This is cracking me up. Almond says, got me on Walmart 4 or 5 times, sold out in 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's what happened. Like a lot of times you can get it in your cart and it just sells right out. Like you'll get it in your cart and it'll say, oops, this is sold out. And you're like, what? It was in my cart. Like, how? But yeah, it's all about the bots, man. I don't think you guys had that problem in RC where bots are buying up RC kits. Let's see.
The bots.
All right, let's get back on RC real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. It's getting a little late. 9 o'clock, Jason. How much closer do you live to JC now?
It's further.
Oh, it's further. Oh, well, that wasn't smart. All right. P. Phillips says, Jason, is J Concepts going to do anything special with Bigfoot 4 when Bigfoot 4 gets revealed?
We've talked about it. But there's kind of some bots be buying up tires.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You guys don't have that issue. It would be a nice problem to have, actually. Anyway, go ahead. P. Phillips, J Concepts do anything special for Bigfoot 4 when it gets revealed?
We've talked about it. It just really kind of depends on the timeline of when it's ready, when there's a reveal, and which identity the truck is going to wear. That really determines a lot too. If the truck has a certain identity, it's better for there's a lot of different identities it could have between the all blue Bigfoot 4 Louisville, we call it. Then there's Bigfoot 4 Racer Stripe. There's Bigfoot 4 as Snake Bite. There's 3 different, to me, distinct looks the truck could have, and it really depends on what look that they go for determines if we can do anything special with it.
Gotcha. Okay.
From J Concepts.
Right. Brad says, yeah, the Nike vice president was involved in it. Her son bought a ton using bot program. Okay, that's it. I saw the article.
That's what it is, huh?
Right. Yep. I'll send you the link again. I sent it to you, but you know.
Must have missed
it. Right. Justin Jubert, I'm ready for some Rocket League. Yeah, Jubert, we haven't played together since Rocket League. But I think you said your son's always on it. I always see you on there. Alman wants to know, anyone pitch Centro the idea of an RC10B6R?
I haven't heard anybody pitch that idea to them. And I don't know. I don't think at this point that it's going to happen unless the track's conditions turn around some way or another to where you need a rear motor. At the moment, all the racing that we're all doing, the guys just want the weight even further forward. They want the car to steer more. They want the car to be more active in the front. And as long as we have carpet tracks and high traction clay tracks as our base, that's the direction it's going to keep going. Unless it's switched around somehow and we start running outdoors again, I just don't see it happening. Because from a sales standpoint, they just have no one to sell them to.
All right. Well, here's a reason to get out of here soon. Alex says Hobbyplex After Hours. That's it. After Hours on YouTube tonight at 9:30 Central Time. Okay, Central. So we still have another hour to go, Jason, if you want.
Does Alex owe us anything for the advertisement here? Or
yeah, I'll send him my
is it
PayPal.
like a PayPal request? Something
right. Yeah. I'll shoot you over a request, Alex. It's going to be pretty expensive, so don't get too shocked there. Justin says he don't remember where the on switch is on his PS4. Okay, well, I guess we won't be playing then. Or, yeah. Kevin says, will Allison allocate JC R&D resources to Margarita Shower Dispenser?
No. She's been so busy at work.
What are you doing to poor Allison over there? Jeez, it's your wife. Come on now.
She's got definitely one of the toughest jobs.
Right. Guess we got to keep her. Duck says Aussie tracks seem to be the only guys running tracks that require a stand-up or rear motor.
They do, but the most of the guys that I see are still on lay down, even out there. What's really strange, I haven't done this in a while, but Paul and I, many, many years ago, had a rear motor car and a mid motor car at one of our loose outdoor tracks, and Paul and I still preferred the mid motor car. And this was when it was stand up. So wow. I don't know. We haven't done the test in a long time. Will Britton says he's still at work.
Will
working on those scooters.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Scott says need to have JC West Coast office. I'm trying to get one up here in the Northeast. The hell with the West Coast.
What was one of the funniest things is when Will Britton was announcing, he would announce 40 plus at our race in Omaha because Alex was racing 40 plus. So Alex would normally do all the announcing. So Will would go in and announce, and he would talk, and he'd get in, and he'd say, this class is sponsored by Get Off My Lawn. So he had all these jokes going for 40 plus. He'll type them in. One of them was, if you need to rebuild a carburetor on a lawnmower, one of these guys on the driver's stand should be able to help you. Sponsored by New Balance shoes, our 40 plus,
Balance,
our 40 plus mod class,
Air Monarchs,
the Air Monarchs. That's the best.
Oh man.
When his mid motor gets loose, he prays.
Kevin says you guys are killing it at JC. Busy but great support. That's what JC's all about, man. Right?
We're trying.
Supporting the customers.
Yeah, Will, tell us we got New Balance shoes. Viagra was another sponsor. Sponsored by Viagra.
Where are we at here? Here we go.
Yeah, if you need to learn how to drive a manual transmission, see one of these guys on the driver's stand.
Almond says Cloudbuster to JC kit. Recommended upgrades besides the JC kit.
Well, the steering, that's a separate part. Yeah, so the behind the axle steering's good to have, and then I really like our steering blocks or our steering knuckles. That stuff is really nice. That's a 3D printed part, but that really makes a big difference. Just it just depends how crazy you want to get with it. But yeah, the chassis kit is nice. You can kind of get rid of all the you can kind of get rid of some of the steering setup the way the standard Claude is.
Baden says most Aussie tracks now have adapted to the U.S. style tracks due to the market direction.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably one of the best descriptions. Yeah. Sponsored by Icy Hot. I think he said that one too.
Hey, Shaq does the commercials for Icy Hot.
Didn't he say he burned himself?
Yeah. Yeah, you know where.
Sintered laser.
RJ
I
wants
don't
to know
do
if
any. I don't do any 3D printing at our shop. Actually just go. I just do everything through Shapeways because ibuprofen. Will Brit.
Oh, Shapeways. I know Shapeways.
Yeah, we do a lot of our all of our 3D printing through Shapeways just because I like the finish, and then I don't have to. I can do the part designing when we can get it printing, and I can work on something else. And I like the materials they have, and I like the finish of the product looks the best to me.
I think Kirby has, if you go to, I don't know if you go to Shapeways site and then type in 7XL, you can get some 7XL items in there that they put up. Will Britton, ibuprofen. All right. Well, these jokes aren't as good as I thought they'd be, but I get them. All right.
Well, when he
John,
was announcing them, they were a lot better.
Yeah, I would imagine. John Bolin, Alex, next race, make sure 40 plus is a class to corner Marshall Will's race.
Yeah.
That would be good. No, Will don't wreck. Right, Will? I mean, he's a team driver. I wouldn't have him on a team if he wrecked. One of our team drivers recently, Dave McEwen, basically went to a race and dominated.
Yeah, he does a lot of racing. He doesn't hold back on classes.
No.
He races
big dog.
He races it all, man.
Will says he was getting ready for someone to get upset because he wasn't holding back on the jokes. RJ likes your idea or style there. Don't have to babysit a machine. Makes sense. There you go. All right. I think we're near the end of the show. This has been great. You guys have been really participating and got a lot of comments there. I don't know if I hit everybody here, but
the next West Coast visit.
There you go. Scott wants to know when's your next West Coast.
It actually, I mean, really, I think we're actually kind of done with our West Coast swing this year. It depends what you count, I guess, because we're going to Albany, Oregon for our Northwest Carpet Champs. That's mid-April. And that might be, well, Silver State is in May. That's in Vegas. I count all these as a West Coast trip.
I think you talked about this earlier. Where are the carbon boards at?
They're close. Very, very close. They're almost ready.
Scott wants to know if you're doing a BK Classic.
It depends. I haven't decided yet. They haven't. I don't know that they've actually thrown out the date yet, have they? Let's look here. I don't have it written down. In the past, I think the first year we did it October or November. So.
Almond says, thanks, guys. He's glad we're still alive. Don't put your PS5 in sleep mode, Gotti. My PS5 is always in sleep mode. I know what you're talking about there. I know the issue. I think it was actually with the Spider-Man game.
INS and Phoenix.
But yeah, it's It's always in sleep mode. No issues with my PS5.
You're not gonna get Gotti to say a bad thing about his.
Well, listen, I had a lot of people asking me about it, and because a lot of my friends are trying to get it, and I keep telling them, like you said, Jason, the hunt is greater than the catch, right?
Yeah.
So it's more of you want it than you actually need it, though. When you turn the thing, like especially for me, when I came from a PS4 Pro, okay, because the PS4 was 1080p, you go from PS4 Pro, which is 4K, and then you get the PS5, you're not really seeing much of a difference at all. What are you doing there, Jason?
That's like I'm trying to make the meme with all the math symbols behind it.
Oh, okay. Jason's all confused. Hey, listen, I gave you your time with RC. Now let me go. I know you want to go home, but and I thought you moved closer. That's a shame that you moved further, but have a safe trip home. Now you lost me. See, you lose my train of thought. I'm done. Anyway,
you're talking about 1080p of the old.
Anyway, so the PS4, you're not going to see like this massive difference. What you're going to notice though is definitely the load times is fantastic. Like basically, you're in and out of games like that, and that's what I love most about the PS5. And then also, you can do 4K at 60 frames. I am running a new Sony Bravia TV that can do 120. So like Cold War does that. It has HDMI 2.1, the TV, and Cold War can get you up there, and the game's real smooth. I mean, super smooth when you're playing it on the PS5. And then if you go back to the PS4, you do notice a difference there. But for anybody that's out there really hunting a PS5, I know Kean said he was and stuff. It's awesome, but don't feel like you're totally missing out on something. Because so we'll do for now. What's nice about the PS5 too is it's super quiet. You cannot hear it.
So what we're saying is this could be a little bit like the B6 conversation to the B6.3 conversation.
Right. Exactly.
Here's what I understood here's what I understood.
I can't see that.
I just wrote PS4, PS5. That was what I understood of
all right. But yeah, I love the system. The fact that it's quiet and it just loads games instantly. It's awesome. Almond says going to 100 frames per second is like getting new eyeglasses for the backstretch. So there's
I was converting it to RC
right.
for us.
Almond, we'll need you to convert this to RC for Jason. Yeah, Almond, it's awesome. I love it.
And Pete, I don't know when I'm coming to Texas next. Maybe
when it warms up. Is it still
for a if Thornhill, I guess, would be the next. If there's something at Thornhill, that's usually when we seem to gather over there.
Right. When is Texas unfrozen right now, Pete? I mean, how's that going?
Playing on the gridiron in the frozen tundra.
Billy says Jason looks like he's working on some fresh tires for the PS5.
I am. It's called PS4 and PS5. Right.
You know what you could make me? I should go.
How about those calipers in the back of?
You like that?
Yeah.
I know you were taking some heat online for that, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to post that up there just to troll everybody. The people that are upset with you, I want to make them even more mad.
As they say in wrestling, it's hard to get. You got to get that heat, right?
Right.
You got to get.
And you did. You did get the heat when you put
some good heat for that. So.
Right. So now I just want to stir the pot even more and put them up there and piss some people off.
But what we said, hey,
right.
You can buy a $5 watch or a $50,000 watch, and you know what? They both tell time.
That's something.
Winter's over in Texas.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then it's safe to go there, Jason.
Texas. We like going to Thornhill.
Yeah.
One of the best tracks for sure.
I bought some 3D printed because you guys were talking 3D print stuff. I bought 3D printed controller for the PS5, the controller to hold the controller. on the
You
table.
never told me any of this.
Yeah, I'd go get it for you if you want
This
me
is
to.
stuff
Is
that I
that
would
exciting?
actually.
Well, I didn't think you cared, but
I'm gonna type in.
I'd put it in our chat, but I'd get trash for it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, that's dumb. That's stupid. All right, take over. Talk to your fans for a second there, Jason.
Winter's over in Texas. We talked to Pete about that. We talked about all the new. We haven't talked about all the new releases we've had. Had a bunch of those this year. We can go over those. I know those are always exciting. Got that licensing deal with Bigfoot 4x4. So we got the new 2020 Summit Bigfoot 21 body. Then we got our new Heritage t-shirts and sweatshirts. We got the new, which have been really, people ask a lot about these, the mini bee bodies for the Losi mini bee. 3D printed parts are keeping his RC10 alive. I don't doubt it. And then, oh, Gotti, we're not hearing you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot I was on mute. This is for Alman because I know he'd be interested. This is a PS5 3D printed controller stand that you get on eBay.
You know what? You should have talked to me about this. I could design you a much cooler one.
Yeah, well, I could send one down to you, and you can look at this and make me up a JC one.
It'd be a lot cooler.
I brought that up in our conference meeting the other day. I think we should do something like this, and you kind of blew me off. But yeah, there it is. See, we could do this, Jason.
Oh,
that's what I was talking about. You didn't know.
That's brutal, man. That's brutal. We could do a much better one.
Right. We can do one. That's what I said. We could do one blue.
No, it'd be a better design, not just the color. The design.
Carbon fiber.
No.
You want to do carbon?
Beauty is in the 3D design. That's where the beauty is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Any more licensed Bigfoot bodies? We do, Pete. We have a few coming. There are some in the queue. We did the license plate screws. Remember those?
Oh, that's right. I think mine are in the. I think actually mine just came in.
Must be in the mail.
No, I think it showed up today.
Okay.
I didn't open up the JC package.
These are really nice. This is like, to me, I was messing with my truck.
No, not gonna happen,
Kevin. He's got you.
No.
He's got your number now.
Yeah, we're not getting into PC.
So, yeah, these license plate screws. I'm putting a license plate on my truck, and I realized I'm like, these screws are horrible that hold your license plate on.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, they're horrible. Yeah, they're ugly. They're always got some kind of, they're corroded or they're just, it's really bad. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, all right. So I busted out this screw for the license plate, and I'm like, you know what? I'm making this for myself. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I put them on, and so far, people are loving them.
Cool. So we didn't get a lot of heat for that.
No, people liked it. I was kind of surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, some more. We did the Magma tires. The big lug basher 8-scale tires.
Magma. Pete said he thought it was April 1st. So did I. When I first saw it, I was like, wait a minute. What?
It wasn't. These were legit, man. These were nice. We got a couple other little surprises coming too.
Yeah. All right. PS5 stuff. How about that, Alman?
Yeah. We'll get that.
Alex says Nissan. How about a JC Nissan crawling body to go with the new sexy tires?
We used to have Nissan licensing, and we kind of gave we let it expire just because the Nissan stuff was just not doing that well at the time, and we weren't that big into crawling and scale trucks at that time. But yeah, maybe it could come back. some point. I don't know.
Okay.
Magmas. We had the location change of the Spring Indoor Nationals from Tacoma, Washington. Now we're having it at SS Hobbies and Raceway in Tampa. That was another release. And then for the scale guys, the truck, the 89 tucked body. I like that one. So that's about as far back as I'll go, just because I don't want to get too boring.
Yeah. Oh, we already touched on that. The license plate bolts. Kevin, wait, where'd that go? Kevin says, give us one candy of a new product coming. Give him a shot of something there. Well, there was something earlier that we had to make sure we hid from the backdrop. We can't show that.
Yeah, we got rid of that. Let me think here. I got something kind of cool. Hold
All
on.
right. Okay.
No, I'm just, I got to sort something here. What's a PF of a new?
Well, of a new product coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Just trying to do some multiple things here at one time.
I don't know if you answered this from Pete. Any more licensed Bigfoot bodies coming?
Yeah, we have a list that we're working on that we're kind of going down. So over a period of the next year or so, we'll be kind of working down the list.
Pete says, was the 89 tucked Ford body molded on somebody's truck or straight from your imagination?
What it is a combination of it was learning from our creep body. We have a creep crawler body that was that we really like. So it was learning some from that, what people liked about it, and then seeing what some guys do with some of the bodies and crawling, where they, have been tucking in some of the front and the back sections. So it was from the creep to seeing some of the guys tucking some of the front and rear sections of the bodies to our monster truck bodies, which we have a lot of 89 Fords, 93 Fords. We incorporated that into the design, the wheel wells from that. And then there is a little bit of a nod to Bigfoot 6 roll bar on this truck. So the roll bars back in the day were made by Weston, I believe. And the back, the roll bar that we have on this tucked body in the photos, it's a 3D printed one, but we incorporated what I consider a Bigfoot 6 roll bar, but was a Weston roll bar. And then we made a custom roof rack. So all that stuff together, so about 5 or 6 different things were the part of the inspiration.
Okay.
So let me show this. Hold on.
All right. Jason's going to go get a coming soon product to flash in front of the screen. So, Almond, I didn't see you respond to me trashing VR. I was just kidding around with you, bro. Maybe it's a JC VR headset. Oh, what's he got? What's he got? He's hiding something.
I'm hiding. All right, first we'll show something for Pete. He's been begging me about this, but
okay, Pete, here you go. Pay attention, Pete.
Here's our little. This is a 24th scale.
Oh.
70 Chevy body. This is for the little axial truck. He was talking about this.
Hold on 1 second. Let me There you go.
Yeah, so Pete's been talking about having a body for the 24th scale. Right here, that was his question, 929. He asked about the 24th scale. There it is. We got one coming. There's some
There you
more.
go, Pete. Tease Pete with that. How dare you?
You know, one of the tires, I don't know that Alex Sturgeon saw this one.
Alex actually said, cool, you're going to sell a shit ton of those.
That's the idea. We got another scale tire here. This is the Hunk.
They're limited edition, Alex. Limited to how many he can sell. All right.
So here's the Hunk tire. Alex saw the Tusk in the photo. He was saying that are we just going to ignore those tires and wheels? And no, we're not. That was the Tusk tire. It was a hazard wheel in aluminum. But this is a Hunk.
Hunk.
We're calling it.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. 1.9 tire.
Maybe you could show the tread pattern on there, Tom. Put it up to the camera a little bit. There you go.
Cool. This is the Hunk. Personally, my favorite's the Tusk, the one we had on the truck in the photo Alex saw. So that's that one.
Okay. Got something else?
We got our 10 scale guys.
Yep.
So we've been working on a revised Double D 2.0.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Double D 2.0 we're working on. That's for 10 scale. Some people saw these in a little bit of a photo. This is a 10 scale tire we're working on. We're not going to talk too much about it, but
can you get it closer to the camera?
I don't know if I want to get it any closer.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
But yeah, this is another 10 scale tire we're working on. So that was one. So we got 4 things we showed. There's more than that. There's always more than that, but a couple cool things that just had to show.
Billy asked, would JC ever make a short course body for the C8?
Unfortunately, I don't think so, because I believe the car is a little bit, or the vehicle's discontinued. So it would only be for the ones that are out there, which is still a good amount, but that is a huge body. I mean, that thing is like maybe this big.
Jesus.
It's a really big body. It's probably one of the best ones associated. That first vehicle they made with that body was probably their best looking short course truck with the red. I think it had Red Bull on it, Red Bull decals. The thing was a beautiful truck when they released it. But then they went to the 10 scale versions. And so, yeah, there is some vintage love coming.
That duck asks, any vintage love?
Yeah, there is. Jason Santos has the first one. Well, I have the first one, but
you don't count.
Mine's. Well, if I say that, it'll give it away. I'm not going to give it away.
You're making it rain in here, Jason. Will Britton ask, have you thought about adding pink to the colors offered for hop-up parts?
I don't know that you can anodize. Maybe you can anodize pink.
Okay.
I haven't done it before.
Speaking of almond, if you're still listening, PS5, I purchased off flamingtoast.com. I'm going to give them a free plug here. Flamingtoast.com. You can go there for all your, like RC, hop-ups for your PlayStation or Xbox. And I did get when you power on the PS5, it glows like a bluish color, like a faint blue. Well, I got pink. Since you brought up pink there, I bought a pink, like a decal that goes over that when you turn it on, then the PS5 turns on a pinkish color, like the T-Mobile pink. I thought that would look cool. And I also got the Radial Impound green color too. So Gonna try that one out. I just wanted to see what how it worked. You just put it right over the light, and we'll see what it looks like. I'll take photos. Jason wants to know ETA on the Double D's 2.0.
It's going to be
this no, what's the standard answer?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's it.
It'll be in the summer.
Right.
I think he'll be able to make his races though out at Pit Shop. It's either Pin Shop or Pit Shop.
Jason says you can do pink ano. Looks pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, I've never had any anodizing in pink, so.
Chili Duncan, is this correct? Running live for 2.5 hours, even prisoners get bathroom breaks.
No,
Jason took a bathroom break earlier.
No, somebody was at my door.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Pit Shop. That's it. So Pit
What's
Shop.
That now? Jason says Pit Stop.
Yeah, that was the name of the track. Pit Stop.
Okay.
That's in Pennsylvania. Got it.
Oh, Pit Stop Hobby. Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to race there at Mount Joy. As we thought, Mount Joy, Pennsylvania. I used to crash a lot there.
Chili Duncan. He's always coming in with something. Coming in hot.
Yeah. Yeah, you're correct. 2.5 hours, 9:30. Jason, I guess we better roll. But we missed
our record. 3.5 hours.
Oh yeah, we did 3. We used to do 3-hour shows easily, and then amazing enough, people complained about that. And I'm like, it's a podcast. You stop and listen and fast forward. You put it on high speed if you want. We sound like chipmunks. Pete Phillips listens to the show that way in 1.5, I think it is.
Yeah,
he speeds it up. He runs through an hour show in like minutes. So I never understood the argument, like, oh, the show's too long. And then, of course, when you cut them down to like an hour and a half, well, it's too short. But what are you going to do? You can't win them all.
You definitely can't.
All right. Well, I think the questions are slowing down now, and but that was cool. Got a lot of great to see everybody back here. That was a fun episode.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah, we got to get on. We got to get going here. It's spring. Spring's coming up. Nice weather. Everybody's in a good mood. I know that it's always summer down in Florida, but here, we got everything. It's like 70 out today. Beautiful.
For you guys, that's what it was?
Yeah, it makes you feel good. We're a little motivated now. We're back.
Mm-hmm.
Got a few new items here that I want to try out. So I want to get back on a more consistent schedule. I know we say that all the time, but we even tossed around the idea, like, if none of us can do it, can we have somebody else that wants to, like a Will Britton, want to sit in and take control of the StreamYard and do a podcast 1 week for us? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We've tossed that idea around. Because doing this format, people can just log in easily for us. But we need guys that are willing to do that and comfortable to do that. Oh yeah, Pete's been a long time listener. Back to when Jason was killing him with the keyboard hammering. In fact, Pete, didn't we buy a keyboard, Jason, that was kind of silent?
You gave me a link to a more silent keyboard.
Right. I think actually Almond gave us like a link, and then I forwarded to you, and you bought that keyboard.
Yep.
And you also bought a mouse, right? That's quiet.
I think, did it come with it?
I did. I bought this mouse off of Amazon. I don't know who makes this one. Let me see. Jellycomb makes it, and it's totally silent. You press it, and it's just totally silent.
Mine's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love this mouse, actually. I have a few other mouses here, and this is like my favorite one. Totally silent, and it just works great. Bluetooth, awesome.
So Kevin says he could help out too. So look at all these volunteers you got.
I know. This is great. You know what? You guys can message us on the Radio Impound page. It's something I seriously thought about, because there's a lot of times, obviously Jason's traveling, or something comes up on my end. And I'll take the blame for a lot of this. 4 months, was it 4 months, Jason? And it's amazing how time flies too. When you miss one episode, then you miss another, and then all of a sudden it just snowballs and you miss a whole bunch of them.
Pretty soon it's 4 months.
Yeah, and next thing you know, you're like, wow. Like, I think you messaged me and you're like, it's been like almost 4 months. I'm like, holy shit. When I realized, I'm like, dude, that's bad. We
Chili
gotta.
says he's getting his decals out of the trash.
Dang, Rip is back for 2021. Guess I'll grab those decals. Yeah, you should have never put them in the trash to begin with, you clown.
Yeah, they're worth a
Hey.
lot.
I bet Chili misses me
my
bugging him. That's a great idea. I bet Chili. Let me finish this first. Chili probably misses me bugging him for like these 1990 car action issues.
Yeah, it'll come back though.
I was on a roll there for a while where I would message him and he'd be like, "Look, dude, I'm out with my family right now." Before I even asked him for anything, he knew exactly what I was going to ask him. Duck says live stream from the Iron Skillet, which is a great idea because I'm almost certain maybe I closed down. There's one down the road from me, about 25 miles.
Really?
And and
go there, get the chicken. The chicken strips were good.
If that place is still open, I seriously, for an episode, should run down there and just do the episode through my phone because you could do StreamYard. I seriously should do it from the Iron Skillet if that place is still open.
How about this? If you had to rename a podcast, you could name it Iron Skillet.
Yeah.
Or how about this? If when you were thinking about doing the football one, the Gridiron Skillet.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. That's another project of mine that just got lost in these 4 months of my chaos over here. Chahos, as I like to say, actually. And Duck says there's a lot of skillets over there. Will says better than Twin Peaks chicken strips. Twin Peaks.
Let's not get crazy.
All right. Okay. Are we ending this?
Twin Peaks. We've been to that one over there in Omaha. What do? You go down the Dodge Road. What is it called? Dodge Road or Dodge City Road? 4 weeks out of 17 for football podcast.
Yeah, I think we did 4 weeks. Hey, Justin, I think I'm going to need you to pick up the slack here. That's something you can do, Justin, for me.
Is it pinch hit? Is that what it's called? Pinch hit?
Pinch hit.
Pinch hit.
Justin, we got to crank that up this season.
Dodge.
I need your help, though, Justin.
Yeah, so you go down. Yeah, you go down to Dodge Street or Dodge, whatever it is, and you go down there, and you can head to Twin Peaks. That's the same way to Starbucks too.
So Twin Peaks is they have awesome chicken strips.
I guess they have really good chicken strips.
Oh, okay. You haven't had them.
They're yeah, I know. I know my way around some of these cities we go to. When we got into Vegas 702, and I was Lee Setzer and Hannah was with us, and I was giving them the tour while we were driving down the 15 there. Bellagio's over here, Mandalay Bay. Here's the Luxor, and the Excalibur. I saw New York, and as you see the roller coaster, that's New York. You go by there and get to Caesar's Palace. That's the most expensive rooms you can get. I think that's where they filmed The Hangover. Will coming in a little too hot on this one.
Will says the breasts are better than the strips. Of course. All right, guys.
Leave it to the guy that likes the pink anodizing.
Yeah. I think I was trying to get out of here an hour ago. We're still trying to shut the show down. It's amazing, but it's been fun, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. When you get interaction,
right?
You get the interaction. The tough part about the interaction. Canes are better. Oh gosh, here comes Alex.
Alex says I prefer the thighs. Yeah, the tough thing with the man, guys just won't let us go, will you?
No.
People, when you go to Phoenix, you've got to hit up Lou Minotti's Pizza.
That's another place for Gotti. Illuminati.
Illuminati's.
Well, at least we just came right out with it.
Yeah, it's sometimes for the people listening on an audio version of this podcast, they get a little lost. So that's why I tried to say the name and the comment for you guys.
Oh, good job. That's way better than I was doing.
Yeah, right. That's
I'm thinking everyone's got my same experience. I'm thinking everyone's got my same experience.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. That was episode 222. We appreciate everybody joining us.
You ever seen the movie? Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Speaking of movies, I downloaded Commando Directors. I never saw this on Amazon Prime.
The director's cut?
Yeah, the director's cut on Amazon. It was
more people killed in that one.
I haven't watched it yet, but it's only a minute longer than the standard version. It's 130. It's 129 on the Commando, and the Commando Uncut is 130.
Commando is a great movie.
Love it. Love it. So I had to get the director's cut because I'm like, I want to see what that's all about.
Was I close the other day when I gave that voice message about it was from Commando?
Oh yeah,
your little pissant soldiers make me laugh.
Yeah, dude, you're on point with that.
Your little pissant soldiers make me laugh.
Hilarious. I should play it on here for you.
Yeah. Matrix and I could take them all out.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye. If Matrix was here, he'd laugh too.
I love that movie. I love the beginning of that movie too, when he's like, they come and invade his home.
Yeah. Pete talking about Airwolf. It's just like out of nowhere. I like Airwolf.
Pete Phillips with Airwolf was based on the Bell 222 helicopter. Oh, episode 222. Airwolf.
Good idea. Matrix and I would take them all out.
I like when he tells that soldier, he's like, the downwind. He's like, what the hell? You think I could smell them coming? He goes, I did.
Yep. That's the beginning, right?
Pete, sorry, random brain dump. That's fine, Pete. That's what the show is anyway. Big old dump.
How about when they're on the airplane and
I know what you're gonna say already. Yeah,
he hits the guy with the big elbow.
Yeah,
and he gets his neck.
Disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't seen Commando, you should see Commando.
Oh, I can't imagine that nobody's seen Commando in this chat. They have all seen Commando. Come on. Though you didn't see A-Team, so.
Sully. You're a funny guy, Sully.
Where's Bella Toley at? Bella Toley. Where's Bella Toley at? God, that's a cool ass name.
Sully, you're a funny guy.
All right. Can I end the show now? 222? All right. Brought to you by J Concepts. The reflection. How's that saying go? The opinions and
the expressions and
expressions on this podcast may not necessarily be that of J Concepts. That's got to be at the beginning of the show every time.
Yeah, you got to move it over.
Yeah, I hear you. Let my friend sleep. He's dead tired.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of, we're going to go to sleep.
Stick around. Yeah.
Jason's got to go get dinner.
It's another one. Stick around.
Audio version people, we apologize. I don't edit no more, so I'm not going to edit much of this. So. Okay. All right. Say bye, Jason. We'll be back hopefully next week. Hopefully. And if, like I said, if any of you guys are interested out there of maybe, seriously, we toss around this idea and I just kind of like mention it now. But if anybody's interested in maybe taking over when we can't, just message us on Facebook. And maybe you can come in here and do the StreamYard stuff for us. When Jason's away and I got something going on, there we go. Or if Jason's away and you want to join me. All right, guys.
Well, we
We are
gotta
out
go.
here.
You know
See ya.
why?
Why?
We're dead tired.
Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired. See you guys. Take care. Thanks for joining us. Later.